Hello everyone, this is Richard John, and today we are going to talk about chastity. Whenever we hear the word chastity, we always think that sex is bad or any hint of sexual desire should be repressed or pushed down in the subconscious where it cannot trouble us. And if this is chastity, then I have nothing to do with it. But guess what? This is not chastity. Chastity is not pushing away your sexual desires, just like St. John Paul II says, if pushing away our sexual desires or repressing them is how we look at chastity, then in no time it will explode. And chastity is not something repressive, but it is something redemptive. So when we are talking about redemption, we come to know that something is going wrong or something has gone off and that we need healing, that we need to correct it. For those of you who don't know what chastity is, then chastity is saving sex for marriage. Chastity is aligning our sexual desires with God's designs regarding marriage and sexuality. God gave us this erotic longing to be like a fuel of a rocket engine that has the power to launch us to the stars, to the infinity and beyond. But the problem is with the original sin, that our rocket engines got inverted. And this is why we go out into the world seeking love, seeking goodness, seeking happiness and joy. And so often it backfires on us. Chastity is a virtue that redirects our rocket engines to the stars. And this is the good news of the gospel, that Christ didn't come here to condemn the rocket engines, but He came here to redirect them to the stars. And this is what chastity is. Now we all may think, is chastity boring? The answer is absolutely no. Chastity is not boring. Chastity makes our relations super exciting. In fact, without chastity or this virtue, we are the ones that become boring. I mean, just think about it. If sex is what makes a relationship exciting, then that's a pretty boring relationship. It is easier for someone to be in bed with someone else instead of being in a relationship where the relationship demands self-sacrificing, being more courageous and being more radical, to enter into each other's hearts, to do things that others wouldn't do, to be vulnerable, to be real with one another. And that's a connection that lust could never replace. Chastity teaches us to love that person for who they are and not because of our selfish, self-seeking pleasure of lust. I mean, it is more cool and more courageous to love someone with chaste love, to respect their boundaries, their bodies, to do something amazing for one another, to be vulnerable, to be real with one another, to wait for the person to ask the parents for their daughter for marriage, marry them and then create a glimpse of heaven on earth. And this is more exciting and adventurous than just using each other's bodies for our selfish pleasure. There is so much excitement in chastity that lust will never guarantee us. Just think about it. If I love someone, I would want the heaven for that person, right? I would want the absolute best for this person. And our sexuality is our greatest gift. And when we respect and love each other with chaste and pure love, we are bringing heaven on earth. And there is so much joy in chastity than being in a relationship fueled by lust. And always remember, joy only comes from the Holy Spirit and not from this world. And the devil is so jealous that he will do everything to destroy you and not give you this heavenly joy that our Father wants us to give. Just like it is written in John chapter 10 verses 10, the thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. Chastity therefore is connected to all four virtues: self-control, love, purity and piety. It's what helps us keep our romantic love, eros, capable of the love of the friendship, philia, and true Christian self-sacrificial love, agape. Living chastely does not relegate people to a loveless life, but makes true love possible through the integration of eros, consistent with philia and agape. Saint Joseph shows us this type of chaste love to a maximal degree, contrary to the some Christian art that depicts him looking the age of Mary's great-grandfather. Joseph was most certainly young enough to journey through the desert twice and to be a carpenter, one of the most physically demanding of ancient professions. Yet, even though he was young and manly and lived with the most virtuous woman of all time, in fact, the most attractively virtuous woman of all time. He kept his love for her most chaste, seeing God with her during her pregnancy and beyond, and respecting her with pure love. Saint Joseph is a model of Christian gentleman who regulates and channels his love for his wife according to that woman's vocation and overall good, rather than his desires and his needs. And that is why Christians of every age bless him before the Eucharistic Son of God he raised, recognizing that the most fitting form of praise is imitation. And love says, "This is my body given up for you," while lust says, "This is your body taken by me." So let's choose chastity, let's choose love, and let's imitate Saint Joseph. Thank you.